Hello everybody, thanks for tuning in and thanks for your patience. I've been away for a long time in moving, and now we're going to continue on with the last integration of the two scales. Just for a little recap, the yellow is a scale that we found at the bottom of La Formula, and it translates into 2,134 feet as a distance, or 2,130 feet if you round down, just like we did with the blue scale, which was found at the on the Rochefoucauld map, which was the distance of 1,347 feet, and converted to today's modern units is 1,440 feet, rounded down to the nearest 10. We're going to today look at the final landmark that is on the Rochefoucauld map, which you guys have seen many times before if you've watched my videos, and it is right here. And you can see that we've pretty much located here's the hole, and today we're going to do La Trappe, which is the trap door. And notice that the valve here is not shown really. It is most likely under the trap door, most likely it's under the trap door. Now, whether you get to the hole or you get to the hole through the trap door, or you get to the trap door through the hole, has yet to be known. We don't know what it is, but today we're going to focus in on just how we locate this last landmark on the map, which is the trap door. We've located everything else through these scales, and for the most part, the scales have really led us to the discovery of the hole, the trap door, and the triangle of Peter. The rest of them were located through La Formula geometric progression that was verified through Fred Nolan's data, especially the North Anchor. If it wasn't for Fred Nolan's data, we would not have I wouldn't have not known the location of the North Anchor, which is very important. However, the verifications to understand where the trap door is, first of all, we get a verification of our scale and orientation from this green line, which is the SETA line. Let me bring that map back up. It is what we call the backbone. It's how we discovered the first scale, which is the blue scale. And from taking the clue from petite and splitting the T's, the ET and the TE, and down here the T and the TE, and going to this line, and from this drawing, understanding that from this top of the extended triangle, which is right here, to this line right here sets up a distance, which ended up you set up a distance of 1,347 feet, and it scales this map. And the triangle of Peter was very instrumental in setting up the 45-degree angle, 45,522, which ends up being the center of this compass circle right here, this compass orientation. So this orients this map and scales it so that you can then lay out the locations of where these are. And I believe this is done on a table with a map, and through geometry you locate the distances. Now, Nolan's triangle is not on this map. However, the reference to Nolan's triangle in distances is very prevalent, in that the blue scale, 1,440 feet, is exactly the measure from the end stone to the north anchor. And this is very important because it's segmented in very precise way from the end stone to the midstone on Nolan's cross is 290 feet, and from the midstone to the middle to the headstone, the intersection of Nolan's cross is 430 feet, and then on this side it's mirrored from the headstone to the extension triangle is 430 feet, and to the extended triangle tip to the north anchor is 290 feet. And these all add up to 1,440 feet, which happens to be this distance, 1,347 feet, converted to today's foot units. And it's very fascinating. It's not coincidental. It's all by design, and I do believe it. So anyway, the things that give you the location of the trapdoor, it's very elusive. It's not like the hole, where the hole is given by just two intersections of the two scales, the yellow scale and the blue scale. And also, it is very interesting that the line from the extended top of the extended triangle goes through the end stone of the cross member of Nolan's cross and conforms to that degree angle to the hole. And on the trapdoor we have the same thing, that from the extension top point of the extension triangle, if you draw a line to the intersection of these three circles. Now this is very important to understand, that unless these are located exactly, this will not intersect. So and the fact that this line conforms to the extension triangle side and Nolan's cross verifies that this is lined up correctly. Now the center of this circle here is the one that we're trying to find. One of them, this yellow one, is the trap door. That is this circle right here. And then this circle here is the extended triangle. The center is the extended triangle, and the blue scale is the center, is the end stone of Nolan's cross. We also have, the trapdoor also has an exclusive blue scale that doesn't emanate from any really known point on on Nolan's cross or any of the anchors, but it does have a blue scale distance that comes from this point right here, which is a extension of Nolan's triangle and the intersection of the midstone coming at a 90-degree angle. This is something that I got through the geometric progression and is in my earlier videos, and I believe that it is derived from the 90-foot stone, and that is something that's highly controversial and interpretive. But even though I calculated this a long time ago and calculated this point, it's amazing that it lines up with the trapdoor. And there's some other things that I want to show you about this. These are sort of very mystical, and it has to do with the Sephirah and the tree of life, and how this design may have came about, and it perhaps ties into some esoteric knowledge that is Templar in origin, and it could it relates to medieval times, using the Kaballah and the kinds of Christian offshoots of Christianity that went into more mystical teachings of the Kaballah and ancient Jewish belief systems of creation and God. But anyway, whatever is on Oak Island is definitely something that is discoverable, and it is in this document. All the clues are in the formula and in this document. The trapdoor is verified in its scale and orientation by triangle 2 and the triangle of Peter in its yellow line, and the intersection of the backbone and the line from extension, the extended triangle to the trapdoor, since it verifies this is not any particular distance, but it lines up with the intersection of these, the scale line, and that I'm saying that this is a verification of orientation and distance, that it's correct. So the orientation and the distance of the trapdoor is verified through this line. When we get down to it and we break this down, we can take away some of these things here, and let's see if I can get this to go off. And this is no longer needed, and we can take off triangle 2, triangle of Peter, because we have this verified. I'm going to leave this up because I want to show you guys something very interesting. This can be taken off, and the settle line can be taken off. So when we get this all said and done for the trapdoor and pretty much the whole integration of these two scales, this is the trapdoor circle, is where we end up with these two circles, and it is the north anchor, the oak entrance, and the hole, and then this point here, which is the intersection that leads us to the trapdoor. And I don't know if you guys see it yet, but there is like a symbology in this, and I'll show you guys in a second if I can get it. It's in my if you look at this, there is a, can you see it? This is a pyramid, and this right here in symbology to me represents the earth, and this yellow represents the rising sun. So I think when you get to this point of locating all these different things, you are presented with this picture, with this imagery. And there's other things that are involved here too. Let's see. This is the Sephirah. This is what they call, I guess, the tree of life or something, and it's related to Kaballah. And let's see if I can get this oriented correctly. There we go. So if you look at this, we have the extended triangle is on this one, which is I guess the bottom one. This is the bottom, and the vault under the earth is up at the top. Now, I don't know much about Kaballah or anything like that, but I think the author of this design had this in mind when he designed it. And I know a little bit about mysticism in the Middle Ages, and I know that it does derive a lot from Egypt and sun worship and the attainment of enlightenment through the principles of Kaballah that bring you to, I think, I don't know which point it is, but this is an image I got off the internet. It was the one that conformed to this. Some of the other ones, it seems like it's split down the middle, but for some reason this one was not. It was in this configuration, which actually fits perfectly within the configuration of not the calculated, but the interpretive way of the 90-foot stone that brings these lines down from Nolan's cross. And I find it interesting. So there may be something mystical, and definitely after looking into a lot of the history of the Knights Templars and the Cathars and some of the things that they were accused of, I don't know if it was as heinous as, Satan worship or anything like that, but it may be during that time they were thinking, the Catholic Church or whoever was persecuting was thinking that this ideology of Kaballah and ancient mysticism was satanic in some way. And perhaps it is, I don't know. I don't really know that much about it. But the oak entrance, the north anchor, the hole, and the trap door, those are the major landmarks that need to be dealt with in order to solve this mystery. This is very interesting. Whether this will ever be discovered is still up for speculation, because I don't know, if it's a secret of this nature, it may not be that it will be discovered, but who's to say? We don't know. But anyway, that is, oh yeah, there was another thing I wanted to show you guys is, let's see, let me bring back the line, and this has to do with the Kaballah too. So the only blue line that goes to the trap door, okay, it comes from this point. Now that point is let's see what it is. It's the it is this circle, which is called Din, and I think I had it on here, and no, yeah, here it is. This is what it corresponds to, is Jeruva, which has judgment, which is about judgment. The essence of judgment is that circle. So I guess it's not bad. The other thing is too, and I guess you guys see this numbers, is it is the 5th of 10 Sephirahs. So this is the 5th one. And also it is, there are, if you go back to Let's see if it goes back to that. These are all the different ones I was looking at. Yeah, here it is. If you go back to the Sephirah, it is 10. There are 22 paths in this thing, in this Sephirah. 22 paths. And this is the 5th circle. So I'm trying to find where it says 22 paths. But if you remember 522, perhaps that's not a distance. Perhaps 522 refers to the fifth circle, and 22 paths. It's referring to this tree. 22 gives you the paths that are in this tree, and then it talks about the 5, which is the place in which you have that path that goes to it. And the other message was the 1065, which has a numerology meaning to it, which is that it is a number significant to change, although there's a hindrance and a fear associated with it. And then 45 is the number, 45 degrees is a number of change, but it's also a number that talks about persistence and effort and determination and focus. So, I mean, these are just fun things that basically may give us some information about who wrote this, because it is pretty prevalent within this design. And this is the 5th one, and there's supposed to be 22 paths in here, so that sort of sums up the 522. But the fact is that the integration of this code through these scales has verified the locations of each one of these landmarks on the map, on this map here. And actually, you know what? I'll bring up the other one. I think it's this one. It is verified the locations of all these locations on the map. The oak entrance, remember when I told you about it's never going to be in the center of a circle. It's always a tangent. Always a tangent. The other thing is the trap door and the hole. They are going to do something to, and if you watched Oliver and Oak Island Research, is the basin and the barrage. In other words, the basin, the place where all the water is, and the barrage, the dam, which is right here. That this little guy right here, you're supposed to go under there and operate a valve and get the stop the water from coming out, or flush the water out, or stop it from coming in. I don't know, but this is so far the puzzle on how to get into whatever is on Oak Island. The Oak entrance is probably very much in play here. You may have to enter there. The 45-522 still may be an entrance, but I don't know. There's some numerology evidence that points that it may be something different. And this is getting pretty mystical now. And I'm finding out that Um, it's pretty clever, and it is definitely got some symbology in it. This is not made up, you guys. This is not. I just discovered this after I started putting this together in the scales, and I didn't even think the Tree of Life actually had any significance at all. But maybe I was wrong. Maybe it does have something, because the way this formed this pyramid in this circle with this the rising sun and the earth and the pyramid on the earth supported by the sun, it's got a lot of symbology there. And then the Vesica Pisces that we got, and all that, it's pretty amazing. So anyway, that's what I have for you. Please comment and think what you think. I'm sort of a hard facts guy. It's hard for me to really delve into this sort of mystical stuff, but it may perhaps verify the design that this is perhaps Templar in origin. But the other thing it does verify is these are the main points that need to be discovered. Most of all, the hole, the trapdoor, the oak entrance, and perhaps the 45-522 spot. I'm still not completely convinced that that's not something, but the way this is going, as far as all these codes and riddles, that 45-522 may not be as straightforward as we think. It may be some numerology that is being in play here to give you a clue about the origins or something about this. Basically giving you instructions to persist and to get through, and fortunately I guess, that this has something to do with a big change. And anyway, I'm really getting off on this. It seems like it's going out in right field. But the thing that's not getting out from right field is this data. This data is confirmed and is working out and doing what it's supposed to do. Anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.